Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Hey, did you know, I just have to share this. Did you know that this is episode 107?
Wow.
Yeah, we missed, I don't know how we did it, but we
100.
missed episode
Yeah.
100. And the last few weeks as I've been uploading, I keep thinking, oh, I need to tell you guys.
That's so cool.
Because
Wow.
I found it in episode 103. Yeah, just pat
For
yourself on.
us. Yeah, good for us.
Yeah. We've been at it for a while, and I just think that's really cool.
I think without you, Beth, Jen, and I would have quit a long time ago. So.
Oh, yeah.
But
Beth had to drag me kicking and screaming to the first few ones because I wasn't doing it. I wasn't going to be on no video.
I want nobody seeing me online.
Yeah.
All right. And our numbers have grown. It's just good. It's just
Oh, good.
Okay, so let me just welcome everybody to, because I don't have the spiel in front of me, I really think we might just have to give it up.
I think by now
But
it's no big deal.
we'll welcome you. Yeah, but we'll welcome everybody to A Creator-Based Life, which is our weekly podcast for CMH Coaching and all things creator-based. And we love the whole thing with creator-based coaching simply because we are women of faith. And as that faith has grown, we have realized more and more in all the aspects of our life, the role of our creator and how incredibly liberating it is to have a savior who will take care of all of our needs. It changes everything. And so as we're working with creator-based coaching, our mindset has changed and the way we look at problems has changed and the way we look at holidays has changed. It's just, I was just in playing, and this is kind of a cheat for the mastermind group that's coming tonight, but I was just in playing Christmas songs on the piano, but I had a nuance for it because tonight at Mastermind, 2 weeks ago, we talked about chakras, but tonight we're going to talk about those energy, those circuit breakers in our body and how to improve the way they work in your body. And one of the things is music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was really fun to sit and play the piano and look at while shepherds watch their flocks by night and go, oh, this is in the key of D. This is going to help my throat chakra.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And yeah, it was just really fun. I'm excited to talk about it tonight. It's amazing to me how everything that Heavenly Father designed has purpose for our benefit. And the more we discover, the more it happens. Anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Interesting. That's interesting that you bring that up, Beth, because I read an article last week and it was about the power of singing hymns together. And specifically, I think it was about Christmas songs. But when you come together, whether you have a terrible voice or a great voice, but everybody's singing together. So we went caroling as a women's.
You went with the youth group, right?
Yeah, as a women's group and a youth group, the youth girls group. And we went Christmas caroling last Wednesday. And this article came after we went caroling, but that spirit that came with us as we caroled, I mean, it's all a cappella. We're just doing our best and we're,
Nice.
singing together. But that we got done, and these young girls that came with us that were from 14 to 18, they were like, I just feel all warm inside, like what? It's like, this is so amazing. And it has that spirit, but more than that, physiologically, this article talked about when you're singing as one, you're breathing together.
Yes, you are.
So you've all taken, so it's like a form of group meditation because pretty soon all of your breathing is all synchronized.
Nice.
Yes. And the power of that synchronicity, they said it has such an effect on our brains and our bodies
Our
that
physiology
our
changes.
physiology changes.
Did you
Yeah.
know, along with the breathing, that choirs that are actively singing together, their heartbeats synchronize as well?
Yes.
Yes. And that to me, I mean, it makes sense when you bring up the breathing, but just to
Mhm.
me, to be of one heart and of
Yes.
one mind while that's amazing to me.
Isn't it?
It
Like,
is.
there's purpose in everything, right?
Yeah.
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 I
Every
love it.
single thing. It's
Mm,
phenomenal how well cared for and how prepared things are for us to benefit all the way
mm,
through. Yeah.
mhm, mm.
So this week we're talking about the word Noel because everybody loves that song, the first Noel. And the name Noel is just beautiful. And then there's Noel as a greeting, right? But I didn't know the origins of the word Noel. I knew it was associated with Christmas, but I didn't really understand. And so I went and looked up the Latin because I figured it was probably Latin. It's old, old, old,
It's
right?
old.
And is Latin. But when we relate it to, it's always related to Christmas, but just the Latin root means birthday or to be born. And I just loved the idea of being born again at the end of the year. Because to me, we're winding up all of these things. Jacine just finished that incredible year-end review class, which
Mm.
when you take Jen's My One Word that we did in November, and then Jacine's year-end review. So we've got our word now. We're looking at how does that apply to what we have been doing. And then we're going to do an inspired goals class in January to tie the three of those together so that you can kick yourself going, get yourself going with what you feel inspired to do. But it's like finishing that year-end review and using this word Noel is just kind of projecting me into next year, a new birth,
New
to
birth.
be born again, to be born, to be able to have a 2025, you know? Yeah.
Mm.
It's just happy. And I think about that because it's the longest nights of the year coming up this week. And I am a sun worshiper. So I think the longest night of the year is the 21st. We'd have to fact check that, but that's where we're going the end of this week. And I just fall asleep at 5:30 when the lights go out, the sun goes down, then it doesn't come up again until 7:30 the next morning. So I'm like, oh my gosh, quick. I need it. I need the light. I need the light. So how perfect to think about a new beginning on the longest nights of the year to give yourself hope.
Mm.
Yeah. That renewal, I just love it. But what we promised in Monday Morning Inspiration is 3 presents. And who doesn't love presents? I love presents. In fact, we had our white elephant party as a family yesterday, and we did it a different way this year. Normally we everybody you go around the circle, everybody opens a gift. But this year they did it with a die, and you'd roll the die, and whatever the die matched to the number on the chart was what happened. Maybe you pointed it left, or maybe you passed it right, or maybe you got to trade. But we did the entire white elephant, and I never got to open a present.
That's not right.
No, I couldn't figure out. We're driving home and it's like an hour and a half drive. And I'm
Bill
like, why?
cheated.
so unsettled about this because I never knew about a present.
That's so funny.
I had a great time. It was really funny, but we promised presents. We promised 3 gifts. And so that's what we're going to talk about with you guys today. 3 key gifts that will make all the difference for you this season as you finish up. Jen, Jacine, one of you guys want to kick it off with the first gift?
Compassion.
Compassion.
Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah.
Let's just start. It's the game changer, right?
Yes. Yeah. It has to start. We have to have compassion. We have to have compassion for ourselves, for others, for the earth, for, just there is so much
It's
lack of
beautiful.
compassion in the world today.
Yes. And it
Yeah,
makes such a huge, huge difference to
right.
meet somebody who has love in their heart for others. But
Mhm.
that comes from love in their heart for themselves, right? And gratitude, that powerful gratitude. I once heard compassion referred to as compass plus passion. And if you divide the word if you divide the word in half with the COM at the beginning, the second half of the word is passion.
I like
Which
it.
I find fascinating to think about, and especially to think about in the way we lovingly serve others and the way we fulfill our purpose in life, because we're passionate about what we're gifted in. What was the quote you used at the class this last weekend? It was an intuition, gifts and intuition, or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Let me bring
We're
that.
we're intuitive in our area of giftedness.
There we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, we're intuitive in our area of gifted. We're passionate in our area of giftedness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once you discover it and it hits home in your heart, you just kind of can't help but do it. It just keeps coming around. And that's a game changer too.
And it doesn't mean that, like, if you're not naturally compassionate,
I'm not naturally compassionate. Tell me.
if you're not naturally compassionate, it doesn't mean that that's not a gift that you can acquire if it's important to you. You always have that opportunity to choose for ways to fill that compassion bowl. And I don't know, I'm thinking about my husband and my daughter, and they are very much, she is his daughter. And
Are they doers? Are they doers more than feelers?
they are doers, although she's a very feeling person, and
Uh-huh.
Mark is very intuitive as well. But in that sense of compassion, if you would ask them, they would both say, no, I'm not compassionate.
Feel compassionate. I like to get things done.
However, I believe that because each of us is born with the Spirit of Christ in us,
Yes.
it's a gift.
This is the perfect time to think about that too. The
It's a
gift.
gift. We're born with this, right? Every child that comes into this world has the
That
Spirit of
gift.
Jesus Christ in them. It's a gift. And part of that is compassion. And so when I look at my husband and I look at my daughter who say they're not compassionate, yet I look at Jessica with animals and
Oh,
the compassion that she shows towards animals and always has, doesn't matter what type of animal. Where she's that child that would be outside and butterflies would land on her.
oh,
She has that, right? And she just has this beautiful heart towards nature and towards animals. That's compassion. And Mark, I his compassion looks a little different, but it is in serving others, in helping somebody, like the neighbor who needs their field cut. Okay, I'm going to go over and cut their field, even though it's 7 o'clock at night. I've worked a full day, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go do it, right? Because I
yeah,
know that it needs to be done before the rain comes.
yeah.
And that's kind of a big thing. But even to when we're in the grocery store, he's that person that looks in the store as we're coming up to the checkout to invite someone who only has like 2 or 3 items in their hand, please come in front of us. Like,
Wow, that's really nice.
right?
That
And
he looks for that is really cool.
he looks for that. And I keep telling myself, oh, one day I'm going to do that. I always forget. But that, but that's compassion. And I think each of us have parts of us that have that compassion. We just have to look for it and recognize, and then we can build on it. I mean, don't you think?
I do. And I think that what you brought up about the light of Christ, the gift of that light, helps us to identify, to find out what our gifts are. Because the things that I love, that I'm really passionate about, I can see that, I can recognize it right away because of the things that I just love. Yeah. And it's different for everybody. But I love that you brought up Jessica's love for animals, because I think about that with one of my daughters as well. She's rough and tumble and fight with all the boys. But if there was a kitten and it was in distress, life was over until we took care of that kitten in distress. Yeah.
Kittens, squirrels, like you're just like, oh, seriously.
The bird that fell out of the tree.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she's still that way. She's still super, super compassionate in
Isn't
that
that
way.
cool?
What are you
Yeah.
thinking, Jen?
Well, I really like everything that everybody said, and I've just been thinking about like it can be your focus, like how Jason was saying he was looking for it and everything. And I just thought, this is the time of year that worldwide in the Christian faith we're focused on Christ, and so people tend to be more compassionate and giving and hopefully nicer, if they are truly like embracing what this season is about.
Right.
And so I'm just kind of thinking, how can that be like, why does it just have to be 1 month a year? Why can't it be all year long? And so, and I get people and things like that. So what was coming to my mind was just a lot about like, it's your focus. It's what you look for. And it can be something that you can actively, I guess, train for. Mark's just natural with it. Maybe, it's just something that
yourself to look.
But I guarantee you, JC and Beth, you're compassionate in different ways.
Oh,
It's just, yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So it's just like, maybe just identifying the ways that you're good at being compassionate, your talent or your ability. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. And you're right. The compassion. I think a lot of the compassion we find at the holidays is everyone is unified on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was noticing yesterday as we were driving home, just all of the yard decorations and the things on the cars and the things on the roadside. It was all Christmas. I don't know that there is another holiday that we all come together for in that way. And the unity of the holiday, regardless of how you celebrate the holiday, the unity of the holiday, that unity seems to bring our compassion out, our kindness and love towards another, because we don't see our differences so much. We're unified.
Right. And think about like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and those are all about peace on earth.
Yeah.
That really is. And that is what the spirit of Christmas is peace on earth as well. And so these are all culminating at the same time, or not at the very same time, but in the same month, right?
Right.
And so worldwide, you have this incredible energy, synergy that
Unity.
and unity.
Unity. Unity is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is a force all of its own to be one. Yeah. So that is our first gift for you. Compassion. And this second gift is going to help you to understand a little bit more about how compassionate you really are. I love that Jen pointed out that we're probably compassionate in ways we just haven't recognized yet. Thank you. We talk a lot about compassion, and we have a lot this last quarter. The beginning of 25, we are going to really begin to focus on the second gift, and that is mindfulness. The idea of I'm here right now with you in this space, breathing this air and feeling where I am right at the present. That mindful moment changes everything for me. Like, I felt my elbows on the desk as I'm sitting here with you, and I felt my seat in the chair, and my nose is runny today, so I felt that too. But just coming fully present immediately got me out of my head for moments, and that leads to compassion. At least that leads to compassion for me, that unity and that love. What do you guys do for mindful practice, or what could you help our friends with in their striving to be mindful for this next little bit, so that we can give them those gifts to work through the end of the month with? What's your practice look like?
My practice is different from experience to experience, what I'm going through there. I have a brain that either likes to plan the future or go over the past.
About the past.
Yeah. So I have to really work on, like, because even in places when I should be listening and should be paying attention, my brain will go like, well, I got to do this, got to do this, got to do that. And it'll just go,
yes, and off she
like, I'm really thinking about something. So I really have to like reel that one in, because usually if thinking of the past, I get like I'm either in a state of anxiety, a state of sadness, or anger. So, it's because for some reason I never ruminate the happiness things in the past. It's always like the problems. I don't know why that is. That would be really good to like think about. So I love the practice, and I think Beth, you taught this a long time ago. Just asking yourself two questions, or telling yourself, asking yourself two questions and telling yourself the answer. It's like, what time is it? The time is now.
It's right now.
It's right now.
My favorite. Oh my gosh, where am I?
Yeah. And then, where am I? I'm here. I'm right here. So it takes my brain out of the future or the past and says, okay, you need to focus again on what's going on in the present moment.
Right now. I don't know about you guys, but I have appointments like at different times of day, all the weekdays. Mm-hmm. And then I have church on Sunday. So there's a time frame there as well. Yep. Sometimes on Friday and sometimes on Saturday, I'll have blocks that are open. But that needing to keep my brain kind of just barely engaged so I don't miss an appointment can make me crazy. Mm-hmm. That's where that, oh my gosh, what time is it?
Right.
Did I miss my last client? Oh my gosh. Right.
Well, I'll find myself thinking, like, if I'm in a meeting, I'll find myself thinking, did I put that on my Costco list? I'm like, doesn't matter. It's like a brain. Where are you? I am here.
I am right here.
It is now. It's not Costco time. It is now, or like, so, and that's, I've really tried to do that so that I can get, I think, fully what is coming for that present moment. Because I have kind of watched other people do it, like they're close to me, or even myself do it, and miss out on opportunities.
Yeah.
Of either for growth, or connection, or inspiration. So I'm just like, I really need to do this. But I've noticed that it will take me out of an anxious state sometimes. So why am I worrying about the future?
Right.
Now,
because it's right now. And right now I have everything I need. This moment is perfect. I am warm, I'm dry, I am full. I have a beautiful cup of tea, and I'm with my friends. I mean, how much better does it get?
Right?
So now it's perfect.
I was thinking, Jen, as you were talking about that, one of my favorite things to do when I wake up anxious and have so many things going through my brain at 3 a.m., which
is common to us all.
Yeah, yep. It's such a great time to wake up and start like working, not. But one of my favorite things to do, and this was at one of my friends, Mackenzie, who's a therapist, and she was talking about mindfulness. That's where I first heard about mindfulness, was from Mackenzie. And she just said, Jacine, practice being where you are. And so stretch your feet down and feel the sheets on your toes. And I love the feel of my sheets. Like, I love my sheets.
It feels so good.
Like that's one of those guilty pleasures. I don't even know if it's a guilty, but it's just like, oh, I have such nice sheets and they're so soft. And when they're cool at 3 a.m. because I'm warming up, thank you, menopause. And
Yes.
and just feeling that. And she said, so you just start at your feet and you're like, what do I feel? Oh, I feel these nice, cool sheets. Oh, that feels so good. And then moving up to like your calves and like, what do I feel there? Oh, yeah, that pressure. And maybe there's a pressure point that's not, you're not super comfortable. Then get yourself comfortable. And then, oh, now what am I feeling? And usually by the time I get up to my torso, I'm able to just like go back to sleep because I've just been concentrating on here and now and calm and yeah. And I can usually go back to sleep when after I practice that mindfulness of just being present,
Mhm.
just being present. If I'm totally stressed out too, I luckily have been married for such a long time. I can just reach over, and I think I got Mark trained. I can reach over and just like touch him, and then that's his signal. Okay, scoot over so I can snuggle
Scoop
with
you
you.
up.
That's so cute.
Like I just need to know I'm safe or whatever, but and then being mindful and present in that moment and just
Oh,
being,
there's so many good things to feel that way.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So that's my strategy, especially in the
Early
wee
morning.
mornings where I wake up with that
Uh,
anxiousness. Yeah.
I
I
love that.
learned a mindfulness technique the other day that I've been trying out. It actually kind of works. I was surprised. Don't know why I was surprised. Of course, if somebody says this works, it's going to work. Um, but when you start to you start to do the ruminating thoughts,
Yeah.
is you think of just some simple words, like say, teach. Okay. Just whatever word comes. And then for every letter of the word, you focus and give it like an object, like let's say T, tiger, you know, E,
Hmm.
elephant, or like, A, apple, and you go through that. It takes your mind out of the rumination.
Brings it back
Mm.
out. Yeah,
I
that's
was
good.
like, this is fabulous, especially like JC, but mine is going to sleep, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, so I've been trying it and it's like, yeah, I can't finish my words sometimes. And sometimes I'll go into a second word, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Mm.
The things that is really helping me sleep better and not wake up. I've actually had nights, you guys, when I've slept all the way through. Is I am no longer going to sleep to a story or
Mm.
to a podcast. I'm going to sleep to quiet.
Oh, no.
So I set my iPhone timer to run 30 minutes for this meditation that I listen to. It's great meditation. It's Joe Dispenza's evening meditation.
Mm.
And he has you just go through, you bring yourself present, touch your heart, breathe a little bit, and then go through the points of your day where you were in focus and where you were out of focus.
Mm.
Then find gratitude for yourself and honor yourself for the things that you did well that day. And it's got great music, and it's just really relaxing. It's about 25 minutes long. So I set my clock or my phone to turn off in 30 minutes. And so I'm asleep before Joe finishes talking. About the time I put my hand on my heart and start feeling good about myself, I'm like, all right, I'm going to sleep. I'm good.
I'm good.
But I notice by falling asleep and it's quiet, if I do wake up in the middle of the night, it's quiet and I can drift back. And generally I just stay asleep because I don't have that story. I used to listen to the story all night long or a
Oh,
podcast,
yeah.
it would run on a loop. But what I'm seeing in the research that I'm doing on anxiety is that part of the anxiety epidemic is the incredible amount of information that we have
Information.
coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so by winding down and turning it off in the evening, it
Mhm.
really does make a difference in our sleep. As hard as it is to say, I'm going to turn off my phone at 7 o'clock and not have screens for 2 hours before bed, it makes a huge difference, not only in the way we sleep, but in the way we are present the next day. Yeah.
I've also read too that the first 30 minutes you wake up, don't grab your phone.
That's right. Don't
No.
do it.
No.
Wake up like Jen does. Good morning. I love you, Jennifer. You can use
Mhm.
if you want to, but Jen will take the love as well. But just, yeah. and focus on, for me, I focus on my God, and I focus on what it is that my focus is going to be for that day. Jacine, in your class over the weekend, you did 4 focuses that you use. What are those 4 focuses? Do you
Right.
remember?
The 4 focuses are, hang on.
I got
remember
it.
what
I
you
have
had
a
one-
day. I've already
I
had a
remember
day.
in my notes.
I have them in my notes too.
Yeah.
But,
Sorry to put you on the spot.
no, it's good. It's good. I just have to take my brain back there.
One of the best things that
I
I do when I
should.
wake up is gratitude.
Yes.
The gratitudes, like with your sheets. I learned that from you too. I run my feet down the bottom and, oh, Heavenly Father, thank you for my sheets.
This feels so good.
Thank you
It
for the
feels
good
so
man
good.
who's laying here next to me asleep. And
Yes.
thank you to sleep so
Yes.
I can go study.
Let me pull them out. I know I wrote them down.
Yeah.
I know I wrote them down because I taught them. And so, yeah, my 4 facets are here. Okay. Communicate. How do I communicate?
How do I communicate?
Focus areas. My create. How do I create? What am I creating?
What's my why? Yeah.
Yeah, what's my why for creating? And then lead. How am I leading? And then my faith. How have I shown my faith that day?
Yeah. So you've got the first, was it 20 minutes or 30 minutes, Jen, when you first wake up?
They say 30 minutes, don't get on your phone. I would say even an hour. Because you know why? It gives you a dopamine hit, and the rest of your day you're chasing the dopamine hits.
I have really noticed that lately because it's the holiday and I'm out of sync and I've got some extra things that I'm trying to do with my time. I keep checking email. And I'm like, what's the deal? Why am I? Then I realize every time I check email, my heart has a little leap. And I'm like, oh, that's that dopamine hit. And it gives me a little bit of comfort.
So
mine is like,
go ahead, Jen.
Mine is I'm noticing when I have like some downtime, I'm like, oh, I want to either like start listening to that book, or I want to go look at some cat reels or some funny reels. And I'm like, because my brain is chasing those dopamine hits I get when I learn something new or when I watch something funny. And I'm all like, oh my gosh, and I think that's okay to a degree, but if I start my day that way, the whole day I'm chasing that. And so
You're
it's
going to be being hooked in.
Get up, move your body, your gratitude practice or whatever, meditative practice you have, get sunlight, get water.
Lots of light. I mean, you guys, you would think there are floodlights in my room when I first get up in the morning because I have lights in all the corners and the ceiling light on. Yeah.
Give yourself a little light. I have this little light that does like all the different spectrums.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, get that. Get yourself some bright light in the morning to help with your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll make a huge difference.
And
And it's amazing what a difference. Go ahead.
Yeah. When you think about it, am I giving up my power when I get on the phone?
Yes.
What am I giving my power to? Because once you get on there, and we all know, like Facebook or wherever we are, the reels.
Even if it's just researching, I can be gone for hours going through researching.
So what are we giving our power to? Is it giving us, is it building us up? Or is it just filling our time?
Yeah.
And giving us little happy hits.
Yeah, and really in the long run, what is that going to do? Yeah. Is it vital to? So what are the things that are vital in your morning?
I was thinking, where does it fit in those 4 areas for me?
Right.
Oh, where does it fit in the 4? It doesn't. Well, communication, maybe if you had active life on Facebook.
Yeah, but you can make your communication and then get off.
Yes,
or you can do your little research and then get off.
Right.
Stuff like that. But it's not spending an hour chasing funny reels because it's fun and entertaining. And then you're like, wait a minute, I just wasted that.
Where did that time go?
Maybe 15 minutes is enough. I'm not saying don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
set a timer on your phone if you're going to get on. But there is real power in sitting quietly. It's so uncomfortable. But there is real power there in just sitting quietly. I know we've got a lot of women right now who are rolling their eyes and thinking, when does anybody have time to sit quietly?
Quiet. Mhm.
Right. But that is what we're going to be working on this year with mindfulness all year long. And at least for the first quarter, because we got to get to hope too. But
Yep.
mindfulness for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
There is power in sitting quietly. There is power in waking up grateful. And there is power in going to sleep in the quiet and the dark. And if there's one thing that's good for sleep this time of year, it is the dark. Longest days of the year, like I said, our longest nights of the year. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's good.
Yep.
Okay, so our third gift is hope. And hope is our anchor. It is the only true constant that we have. It's a constant like truth, right? Hope. And change is where that growth happens. So we continue in hope, expecting that change, and we have natural growth. It's phenomenal. What do you guys know about hope? What do you love about hope?
I just like I went immediately to a time in my life when um, it was pretty hopeless,
That's a hard place to be, hopeless.
and I felt hopeless, and I there was so much loss and so much hurt and so much trauma and so much that I believed that the world would be a better place without me and that I'd be better without this world, this crazy world. And when you're in that spot and contemplating suicide, um, that's a pretty hopeless place.
Yeah.
And when you have to physically and mentally look for just one spark, one item that you can possibly find hope in. And for me, that was my two little boys. I was in an abusive marriage and being told that you're worthless and that your kids, they don't need you, they need someone else, and you're terrible, whatever all of that looked like, right? Um, and believing that. But then the truth comes in those quiet moments of meditation where you're contemplating this life or death thought and looking and seeing those two little babies' faces and saying, no, not today.
Not
Not
today.
today. Not today. These little faces, they give me hope. And I know I'm a good mom. And I know. And I think even just with a glimmer of hope, it sparks and starts to ignite a little bit of more hope. And that's the beauty for me of hope, is that it builds upon each other. Like I can have a little tiny bit of hope. And if I continue to hope, then it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then I become stronger. And my belief in myself, in my children, in my life, even though I had people coming and repossessing my microwave, my wood stove, my only car,
Pretty hopeless
like
time.
buying yeah, it was pretty hopeless. But I could find hope in and through that. And that is a miracle.
Yeah.
Hope is miraculous.
It is so powerful. Oh, thank you, Jacine. Just
Mhm.
beautiful. You make my heart filled all the way to the top.
Mhm.
Because hope is miraculous. It's such a gift to us. It changes, just like you said, that glimmer of hope in your boys' faces was enough to change, just to
Mhm.
begin to change. And then it grows. It is so, so powerful. Yeah, it's amazing.
Mhm.
3 gifts of Christmas: compassion, mindfulness, and hope. They're beautiful. So just a challenge this week, because I know you're really super busy, but it's a 5-minute challenge. Okay. just a little challenge. 5 minutes. And I know those of you who have littles, you might need to do it in the bathroom with the door locked, and that's okay. I get it.
With them pounding on the door.
That's right. With them pounding. The one that I love is with my kids, they would stick their fingers under the door and you'd see the little hand under the door, because I would try to have prayer in the morning and I'm like, I'll be out in just a minute, just 1 second. And then you'd see the little hand. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pray fast. I got to get out of here. But just 5 minutes of stillness. You could take the 5 minutes before bed. I really love it right after lunch because that's a natural energy dip for me. Right after lunch is just 5 minutes. And I do my Apple Watch and I ask for a 5-minute timer and I just close my eyes and sit. And like Jen, sometimes I have to take care of the squirrels in my brain and compassion for my squirrels. But before the 5 minutes is up, my mind is still. And then the timer goes off and I go back to work. But that little tiny reset, that 5 minutes of stillness somewhere in your day makes a huge, huge difference. It's a gift you give yourself to connect. I know, Jen, you do a lot of meditation with the hypnotherapy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are resets there too. How do you do that?
Wow. That's a loaded question. It's a lot.
A little mini reset. What would it look like?
Little mini reset. Well, my really good one is like, I'm here, I am now. It's like, what time is
That
it?
is perfect. Yes.
That's a mini, really perfect one for me.
Can I'll get you started because it's my favorite way that Jen resets for me is she has me close my eyes and she says, just go to that place.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Well, with hypnotherapy, and I do this with my own meditations, I create special places, like envision places that I can go for.
And mine is a park from my youth.
Just for whatever purpose, for whatever reason. I mean, I have a place that I kind of feels like a holy place that I go and I actually feel like it's like a prayer place. So it just kind of depends on what I feel I need for the place. But yeah, just kind of close my eyes and go there. And if it's a really trying experience or time in my life, I have a 3-sentence mantra that I say, and I use it a lot with my clients. And it was taught to me by the person who I certified in hypnotherapy. And it is, I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. And sometimes I choose to be here. It's like,
I know. Sometimes I have to argue with I choose to be here but after you say it a couple of times, I am safe. I am calm. And then there's a lilt. I choose to be here. But after you've done it, you feel very right here, right now. Right?
Well, you're telling yourself a bunch of different things. You're letting yourself know that you're okay. You're safe. There's no reason to be like overstimulated. You're calm.
Right.
And that you have the choice to be in this space. You're choosing to be here with this,
you're empowered.
Whatever you're experiencing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're empowered. And even if you just did that little mantra for 5 minutes, that would be huge. Close your eyes, set your timer, close your eyes, 5 minutes. And it has to be done in the bathroom. That's okay. Doesn't matter. You're going to be in a different place in your mind. Try it this week for a gift for yourself. Because as we come into the holiday, there's always so much emotion. We've all had many, many different kinds of holidays in our lives, many, many different emotions, many different experiences. And this is a way that we can gift ourselves presence and peace. And that's not presence with a T, just so you know. That's presence with a C. Yeah, and peace. It makes all the difference. Though I am all about presence with a T. Man, if I can shred gift wrap, I'm all in. So we'll let you know when we have a date for the Inspired Goals class. It'll be sometime in January. And what's the story with book club for these next couple of weeks? Are you guys meeting, or are you taking the end of the month off?
Still, we'll take the end of the month off because it's Wednesdays, which this will be our last week meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be Christmas and New Year's. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to take next week off for the podcast. So you guys won't see us, but you can re-listen to this. That's our present to you. And we'll be back just before New Year's because we want to really give you a good kickstart to your Thrive in 25 year, because thrive is the perfect word for what we're going to be doing here in 2025, learning all the things we need to do, or maybe we don't need to do to thrive.
Ooh, like
There's a lot I don't need to do to thrive. Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of things we don't need to do. And so as we recognize them, because we're practicing in our mindfulness and our compassion, hope will come and we will be able to move into that amazing place of thriving. Because thrive in 2025, it just sounds great. It's perfect. So y'all, have a Merry Christmas.
Merry
It's gonna be
Christmas.
fabulous, and happy holidays. If you don't do Christmas, whatever you do, just make it a great one and have it happy. And we will talk again after the holiday.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/cmhcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Free, moment by moment, it's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Whoa, day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. What you thinking? 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 You gotta watch your